I'm Kev.
And I'm Steve.
And we're from the internet.
Want to get your question answered on a future episode of We're From The Internet? Head over to we'refromtheinternet.com/question, tweet your questions at KevinSteve, email kevinsteve@gmail.com, or post them at facebook.com/KevinSteve, or even leave them in the comments for this episode.
Do you say dinner or supper?
Depends whether I'm talking about dinner or supper, really.
Dinner. I don't like the word supper.
Now, you can tell this is quite an Americanised question because I think there's more to this than just dinner or supper. Because I assume when they're talking about dinner or supper, they're referring to the evening meal.
Yeah.
Which is tea.
Claire calls it tea.
That's because she speaks properly, because she's from around these parts.
And
Because
my son calls it tea.
dinner is what you have midway through the day when you're having a break at work. You have your dinner.
It's lunch.
No, it's dinner. It's lunch in America, and it's lunch down south. But here in the centre of the universe, you have your breakfast, then you have your dinner, then you have your tea. That's the correct way for these things to be described. Supper is what you have just before you go to bed. It'd be like a bourbon with a glass of milk, or if you're really extravagant, you perhaps have a small bowl of cereal, like a pre-breakfast. That'd be supper. But no, supper is not a meal. It's
Supper
a snack.
does make me think of it being about 9, 10 o'clock. I think when I used to stay at my nan's, the one who gave me tea before bed, she'd always give us
tea's at 5 o'clock. What are you saying,
a cup
man?
of tea. She'd always give us a cup of tea and something to eat for supper before we went to bed.
A biscuit, probably.
Yeah, probably.
So that's the correct thing. Or a rock cake.
Knowing her,
or
toast as well.
scone.
Toast or a cake, probably. But I just don't use the word.
What, supper? What do your kids have before bed? Do they not have supper?
But I have tea, and then they go to bed about an hour later.
So you give them a cup of tea, and then they go to bed, yeah? That's what you're saying?
No food. I'm trying to think now. Yeah, I don't... Tea, to me, is something you'd have between breakfast and lunch, or between lunch and dinner. That's like afternoon tea when you have scones and...
All tea's in the afternoon. It's about 5 o'clock. It's like fish fingers and chips or something. That's having your tea.
To me, that's dinner.
No, dinner's at lunchtime. It's fascinating.
So why is it called lunchtime then?
I don't know. Because
it's never called dinner time.
It is called dinner time. The bell goes at school. It's time for dinner. Dinner time. 12 o'clock. Dinner time.
The bubble guppies say lunchtime.
The what says
They're
what?
American, though, to be fair.
See, it's yet another one of those things that you say wrong because you're from the South. You're getting educated now. You're living in a sensible part of the world where people say stuff right.
Why everyone says lunch around here?
Only the people. That's because this place is getting overtaken by people like you. all the Mockneys that have arrived in Peterborough over the last 10 years. The Peterborough accent that I have is disappearing, and it's being replaced by people who talk like you.
Disappearing.
Yeah, speaking properly. But it's like when you turn up at the train station on a Saturday morning and it's just a sea of red because of all the Arsenal fans.
You've killed everybody.
Because there's more Arsenal fans than posh fans in Peterborough. It's ridiculous.
Disgraceful, isn't it?
And they all get on the train and the next football ground you get to is Arsenal. So, yeah, Peterborough, if people weren't allowed to leave the city to watch football, there'd be 15,000 people go to posh every week. And it's all you Southerners have ruined it for everybody. All you Arsenal fans.
I'm an Arsenal fan. I hate Arsenal.
It's all the same. You like your London Chelsea, or wherever it is. The London Chelsea. That's your team, isn't it?
What's this topic again?
Bacon. Was that yesterday?
I can't remember now.
This is the first time this has happened. I've forgotten the question.
Tea or supper?
Oh, yeah. Dinner or supper, not tea or supper. I corrected you and made it about tea. How dare you bring me back on topic when I'm abusing you for being a Chelsea fan?
I'm a Spurs fan, you know that.
Whatever.
So, is breakfast everywhere?
I think so.
But
some people obviously don't have breakfast. So
11s is
it could be brunch.
And brunch.
When
would that be called Brinner? Brinner is when you have breakfast for dinner. In the evening.
At lunchtime.
No,
you don't.
You can't have Brinner in the daytime. That's brunch. Brinner is when you have breakfast at night time.
Right. Several points here. Does brunch exist in the UK?
Yes.
You sure it's not just breakfast?
No, you have breakfast and then you have brunch and then you have lunch.
I don't think people have breakfast then brunch. I think brunch is what Americans have when they miss breakfast and they go out and have some brunch. So like after MGPX, when we go and have a cooked breakfast the next morning in the pub and we get there at about 11 o'clock,
That's brunch because I've already had a cereal at the hotel.
But that's breakfast. We're going for breakfast. We're going out for breakfast. We're not going for brunch.
Then when I get home, I have lunch.
Oh, hello, landlord. Can I have an all-day brunch, please? No, I'll have an all-day breakfast. Moron.
That's what it's called, an all-day breakfast. We can have it at breakfast, brunch, 11's, lunchtime.
No, we do. We have never said, when we're arranging our events, we have never said to people, and by the way, come and meet us in the Weatherspoons the next morning for brunch. Because no one had come.
Breakfast.
People had come wearing a floral dress and a cardigan. But no, people turn up in jeans and gaming T-shirts and Converse All-Stars because they know they're going for breakfast, like real
Well,
people.
they're having breakfast at brunch time, though.
No, they're having breakfast at breakfast time, because anything before dinner time is breakfast. It goes breakfast. Breakfast runs until 11:59, and then it becomes dinner, and then dinner runs all the way through until 4:59, and then it's tea.
There, though.
11's isn't a meal, it's a snack. It doesn't have a name, it's just a snack.
You said any food before 11:59.
It's breakfast.
11.
I don't... Do you have 11's?
And 11:30, the Diet Coke break.
Plus, McDonald's breakfast finishes at 10:30, but
Exactly.
it doesn't become brunch time at McDonald's then.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I'm pretty sure it does.
They don't have the brunch window. It's 10:30 breakfast finishes. You could sometimes get in from 10:35, which is when you have a hamburger burger in a McMuffin.
I managed to push them to 10:49 once.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. They're going to be bringing in breakfast all day as a rumour on the internet.
I had to do delivery as well.
So I could get a McMuffin delivered now.
Yeah, apparently so. But
Let's have a quick phone call to make. You entertain the listeners while I make a phone call.
There must be some. We should look these sort of questions up because you're just spouting off your.
Well, no, I'm right and you're wrong. Does your wife agree with me? Yes.
No, she doesn't. She calls it tea and dinner. She'll shout dinner when dinner's ready, at tea time. But then she just switches quite often. She'll be like,
you've broken her.
What's for tea? And then she'll make it and be like, I'm making dinner, or I've cooked dinner, dinner's ready.
Poor girl. On the royal family, they didn't walk around and say, what do you have for dinner?
Yeah, they did have
to. What do you have for tea? What do you have for tea? They said tea because they speak properly on that programme, as everybody knows. And if, as you always say, if the royal family say it that way, it's the right way to say it. And they say tea, not dinner. And who says supper? This was off Yahoo Answers UK. People in the UK don't say supper, surely.
One of your kids have supper.
She has supper, but not as a meal. It's something she has before she goes to bed. So she'll have a biscuit or a slice of toast or something at 8:55 before I throw her in her room at 9 o'clock. She'll have some supper, but she would never get dinner and supper confused, or tea and supper.
I once read that people used to go to sleep at, let's say, I don't know, 9 o'clock. Sleep through till like 1 or 2, and then get up for a couple of hours and do a bit. Who did
that?
Everyone before the Victorian times.
Nonsense, because back then, because people would just sleep when it was dark.
No, they didn't. They did. They used to get up midway through the night and just plod around and do writing and stuff and chill out, and then they'd go back to bed for a couple of hours. So they'd have an 8 hours sleeping now with a couple of hours. It's not
nonsense.
You look it up off the air.
I'll do no such thing. You'll show me evidence of it. You'll email me evidence, and I'll pick it up at some point. When
one of our listeners can send in proof. It's definitely a thing. Because I was considering doing it myself. I just thought it'd be great.
What, going to bed at 7 o'clock in the evening?
Well, no, about 9-ish, I think it was. And then just having, say, 9, 10, 11, 12, get up at 1.
What? I don't understand why,
Be up for 2 hours and then go back to sleep.
Why not just go to bed at 9, then get up at 5 and start your day? Why
Apparently humans don't run like that.
I run
it was
like
always
that.
Yeah, but we've forced ourselves into that routine. Apparently before Victorian times, that's not a natural way of acting.
Want an extra episode of We're From the Internet every week? Head over to we'refromtheinternet.com/bonus to get an exclusive weekly bonus episode 100% free.